Okay. I love that this is happening, that the dogs are making all their noise
Yep.
right when I go.
I
So,
don't audience minds that there's sounds of dogs in the background. Go right ahead. Just start
no.
the show.
Oh, no, I was gonna. I just thought it was funny. Just made me laugh. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Gaming4Justice. One second. I want to wait because it's
I
distracting
don't
to
think you
me.
don't.
I
Yeah,
don't
I was gonna
care that it's distracting to other people. I think that people are
yeah.
okay and can live with it. I just can't concentrate on what I'm saying because
Because the
uh
dogs
cuz
are
she's
barking.
yeah, well she's a hound and her bark is just it's often quite piercing. And so
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Woo, that's a lot,
Well,
honey."
let me say a few words to our human being who is here with us in TikTok land. Hello, TikTok land. Welcome to Gaming for Justice. We are about to launch on the twitch.com, twitch.tv live streaming website. Maiamama is talking to us through the Discord and the Twitch. Maiamama is not in this physical space, just me talking to you. And we're building a video game together. So Maya Mama, it's your show. We're just going to be listening and taking our cues from you.
Okie doke. I think we're good. So anyway, I'm going to say welcome, welcome, welcome to Gaming for Justice. So, yes, as Claudia was saying, we are live on twitch.tv/Maiamama and youtube.com/Claudia Alec calling up justice. And we're on Twitch at Claudia Alec Love. Did I get it right? Is that
Your
your
or
Twitch? Or not your
TikTok,
Twitch, your TikTok.
TikTok
Oh, man.
is
All right,
Claudia
let's
Alec.
start all over again. Let's start all over again. Welcome,
Oh,
welcome, welcome to. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, your TikTok is could you just tell us what that is and also check in with us and how are you doing?
so it's lovely to be here joining you through voice. So I'm here. I'm Claudia Alec, and I work with Culling of Justice, and I am here bringing with me a bunch of awesome human beings on TikTok. So we have got Ebony, we've got Living the Green for Lifestyle. Ooh, I like that. And I feel like we had a third person up in here whose name I'm missing. Anyway, we've got some folks up in here, and we are excited to help you build this video game.
Yes. I'm excited too.
And we
And
created a bunch of the stuff from people last week.
oh yeah. Now let's get to our schedule. So today the schedule is we're going to talk about what's been happening in the world while we're making the game. We're going to be doing a little bit about both. Also, I'd like to shoot for a goal of finishing up the game. We only have like a couple more scenarios to really part in or consequences to write out. So I'd love to wrap that up and then show everyone how they can uh, play the game because that'll be fun. That'll be exciting. Also, my great apologies because I forgot to do my captions again. That happens sometimes, and I apologize for that. Um, yes. So that's done. Oh, good. Okay. And let's see. That's good. Okay. So let's work on the game. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Um, um, Previously on Can You Survive a Racism? We were working on trying to get out of a coworker Pat's car. As far as there's a series of microaggressions from your um, very friendly coworker. Um, Because I really do think that that is a thing. The very friendly racist who does not understand why you are upset with them. Because they were
Mm-hmm.
being very nice. I said your neighborhood was nice. Ugh. Anyway,
Yes. Yes. So we've got this character. They've gotten a ride from the person who's they're being racist, but they're a friend and they're nice from work, but they're still kind of racist.
right.
And
Um,
where's the character now?
Let me go ahead and just read the scenario that we all that was all written up. It was very nice of your coworker Pat to offer you a ride home. You had planned on taking a ride share, but this sounds much better. And Pat is very friendly. As you ride in the car, Pat says, "That was bullshit, the things that Mr. Big Boss said to you. I can't believe it." You say nothing. Then she says, "You know, I've been watching the news, and I just gotta say, all this trouble in the schools with not talking about gay people is ridiculous. And I, for one, fully support CRT being taught in kindergarten." You close your eyes. You're getting nearer to your place. "Wow," says Pat. "You live in this neighborhood? It's nice." And so our first choice was to stop being offended, which took us to, and that took us to, whoopsie, let's see. Here it is. Your phone pings. It's the news. Racism is over. It turns out that we just needed to stop being so hurt about. Okay, let's fix that. Grammar stuff. Being so hurt about the murders and oppression and stuff. You feel free for the first time in your life. There is equity. There is no state violence. I'm just going to say there is no state violence.
Maiamama. That was a section.
Yeah.
I had a suggestion that I really wanted you to integrate, if possible. Can you edit right now?
Oh, yeah, I'm in it. We're in it.
All right. Awesome. 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 So this is the part of the story where you actually read it one more time.
Well, I haven't finished it.
Read the sentences you just were reading, because that'll tell
Okay.
me the things I wanted to put in there from last week.
Awesome. Your phone pings. It's the news. Racism is over. It turns out that we just needed to stop being so hurt about the murders and oppression and stuff. You feel free for the first time in your life. There is equity. There is no state violence. Private prisons are being closed. There is no capitalism, patriarchy, or ableism.
This is what I wanted to add. I recognize that these are kind of covered with capitalism is gone, but I think it would be useful and funny to specifically mention tipping. Tipping disappears. Like once you get rid of racism being a problem in the United States, you no longer have to tip, because that's a cultural practice that only comes from a society that's racist. Because
So
we could underpay black workers.
because workers are being paid fully. I mean, if there's no capitalism, like, it doesn't even matter. Uh, are being, I'm going to say, compensated. Fully compensated. There is no need to tip. And I'm going to say they just have enough. They just have enough. Help me out with wording sentences. I don't know. Because workers are being compensated fully, fairly. Fully and fairly.
Hey.
Why not both? Because workers are being compensated fully and fairly, there is no need to tip. Everyone, everyone joins hands in a totally not creepy us moment. I'm gonna take that out.
Yeah, you know, the problem is not everybody, like, let me ask my crowd.
Yeah.
Who here has seen the film Us? Has anyone seen the film Us?
I'm just going to take it out and I'm just going to put in, and we're just going to leave the sentence. At last, you can rest. This land is free.
This land is free.
And then there's a sudden jerk and you wake up. And it says, you wake up. You really need to stop falling asleep in weird places. But it's been a long day. Time for some dinner and watching a show. And then we're gonna figure out how to segue that to our ending. But for now, I just wanna leave that little branch, it's just gonna sit there. So let's go back to Pat and her delightful things. I believe one of our options was to send Pat some resources, like either email or text them to her. Because she is friendly, and it's just that could be a way to help her with some things. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's our job to like educate people ever. I mean, unless that's your job. Right? Yeah. Unless that's your actual job. I just don't think that that's something that we need to do. But what's another option? What's another option that we have that we could do?
You're in the car, and she's. I'm confused, Maya. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking us for.
Oh, okay. So we can't have just one ending. Are you looking at the screen at all? Can you look at the screen? Because I need you to look at the tree.
Yeah, I can see it.
So we need something. We need another branch, another story branch.
So we're starting with the car. She's giving a ride in the car, and she's doing microaggressions.
Right.
So what you're asking for is options for the character.
Yeah. What does she do? Choices. What does she do? Does she jump out the car, tuck and roll?
Yeah, thank you. That's what I need. I just need choices from what? Like, what's the challenge that she's... The challenge is she's in a car with somebody who's driving the car. And
does she just continue the ride with her head down and just, like, she's gonna pretend like nothing is happening? Or is she gonna play educator? And give Pat let Pat know what's up, because that might not go well. Pat might be very offended by that.
How about we try that one, though? That sounds like a great idea. Try that one.
Okay, we're gonna call it education. No. Actually, okay. So we're gonna create the hyperlink. So we have to have what's the choice called? How about tell Pat call Pat up? Call, what? Talk to Pat about her microaggressions. And then we'll call that passage education. And we're going to add in our transitions. And yes?
I've got something for you. I don't know if this helps or hinders your game. So in the Calling Up Justice practice, we actually have an entire training on ways to respond to microaggressions. Amusingly enough, how long have you been working on surviving a racism game? Like, you've been designing this for, what, a couple months?
A couple of months, I think, yeah.
Only occurred to me, literally in this second, oh, hey, I teach this for a living. I wonder what I taught other people to do in this situation.
I love you, and I think you're fantastic.
Yeah. I'm actually now realizing you could make a video game out of this entire training. We should do that. That might be fun. But these are, let's see if I can find ways to. Okay, here we are. These are, and this is how much of a gigantic dork I am. These are ways to respond to microaggressions, and they're all alliterative. So I made them all start with the same letter. So this is R's. These are the 7 R's. You can request more information. That means you can ask them, what did you mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I would like for you to clarify or elaborate on the thing you just said. Because the thing you just said sounds like it's offensive to me. Keep talking.
Yeah, I've been there. I've done that. I just said, what do you mean?
Yeah. So request more information.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all things you do if you're feeling powerful and safe. Like, generally, the biggest R is run away. Get the heck out of danger. Don't be in danger. Get away from folks who are bad. But, like, if you're feeling strong in yourself, you can request more information. You can redirect. Derail the incident by interrupting it. Ignore the violator. Talk about something unrelated to the microaggression. Now, that would more likely be useful in your bus scenario, where, you had the person who was like doing, it was more than a microaggression. Like, that person was just like
full on aggression. Yeah. Well, and they talked about the book, her book, or their book. Your name here, their book, which was very helpful. Do you want to hear a funny story that I have about redirection? I was hanging out with a friend and their parents, their elderly parent, and the parents lady friend, and the lady friend started getting that old person, like, they're trying to not be racist, but in the process it is seeming kind of racist, and you just need them to stop. And I just said, I don't know how to bake a pie crust. Here's the thing, I don't know how to bake a pie crust, but also I don't care. I don't need, don't at me with pie crust recipes. I won't make it. I'll buy a pie crust, or a friend can make the pie crust, but I will not. These hands are not made for crusting, and that's not what they'll do.
So your hands are not made for crusting. That's not what they're going to do.
Correct.
And in the moment, the old white lady was just like, I'm saying awkward racisms, and you were like, how do we stop this? I don't know how to make a pie crust. And she was like, oh, I've been activated to talk about pie recipes.
Yeah, she's like, put ice in the dough or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's something. That's a
Good.
thing. Chunk up
That's
your butter and like cut it in there, like so that it's like, and that'll help it be like flaky or whatever the hell. I don't care.
I'm
You know what?
I'm
I
gonna
don't care if
ask
I'm getting this wrong. I feel like pie TikTok is gonna come after me here, but you know what? Like, if you love pie, make me a crust. And that's fine. That's fine.
I think that you've just given the world an amazing gift, though. This is a skill set that we can all share now. If you're ever being harassed by a little old lady, just ask them some little old lady stuff. Like ask them something that they have
Yeah,
expertise.
yeah, like
Let that,
making a pie crust or what's a duvet?
yeah, like what is a duvet?
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think of what's old people things. What's a duvet? And then they're
No,
like, then
lady.
that should we should actually put that in as a option. We'll talk about
That's amazing.
an
Okay,
old person. So
so
let's
you were
let's actually add that in right now that we've
excellent.
thought of it because I love it. We're gonna
Yes,
call it redirection. But
redirection.
um,
So okay, so do you want to make Pat an old white lady?
uh, and
I know we were
old
being
I was going to
blunt.
say old white person. The thing is that old
Doesn't have
people
to be gender.
have, yeah, it doesn't have to be gendered. Like old people have ways of doing things. You and I have specific ways of doing things that is like culturally built within us.
I,
And that we were
exhausted.
raised with. And some of those things are like hurtful and harmful and racist, and some of them are how to make a pie crust.
I love it. So redirect. Derail the instant by interrupting it.
I'm gonna say let's
Talk something
talk.
unrelated to the microaggression.
Yeah, let's talk about something else. Um,
While Maiamama is typing up that option in the game, can
redine.
you come up with a third option?
What?
Like we
Sure.
have, so we have your character is in the car with Pat,
Uh huh.
who's very friendly, saying the microaggressions. I'm not talking to you, Maya. You keep doing what you're doing.
Uh huh.
I'm talking to TikTokers.
Yeah, I
Um,
know.
and now we need options for what this character can do. We have option number one, which is just not be bothered by it. That is an option. It's just a hard one and an unrealistic one to actually trigger. Then there was the option of redirect that we just got from the Calling of Justice resources.
And also, we were going to talk to Pat about her microaggression. We're going to take an educational route as well.
Ah,
So we have an
or
educational, we have redirectional, and then just one more for because that first one it doesn't count.
okay. I
So
have I have remove, which is get the recipient physically away from the violator. Remove, run away.
tuck and roll.
So you
You
could
dive out
just
of the
open
car.
up, just open up the car door and roll out. Just silently roll out of the car.
You say, "Oh, this is my stop," and you just roll out
No,
of the
no,
car.
not even like this is my stop. Just
Claudia, it's rude to leave somewhere and not say goodbye. Okay, that's rude. Okay, I think you at least need to say, "Thanks for the ride, Pat."
as tumbling down the street.
And then
I love
just dive out of the vehicle forever.
that's that's the
Goodbye. Thanks for
move
the ride, Pat. You go
option.
into a fugue state.
Hey, hello, Desert Flower Arts. Desert Flower Arts is here in the house. We love that. Yay!
Oh,
Um,
yes.
we also have
Okay.
reflect. That is paraphrase what you heard so they can hear it for themselves. So the reflect option would be you didn't think that I, a person who has a job that has a higher status than you, live in a nice neighborhood where nice people live. Why wouldn't you think I would live in a nice neighborhood? Like what is that? Reframing? No, that's not reframing. That's reflecting. So that's reflecting.
Reflecting can often be interpreted in a very fascinating ways because it can be interpreted as being hostile and and taking my words out of context even
Yes.
though you are literally giving them their words back in the exact same context that they gave them to you.
This is so true.
So, let's do that. Um,
I
okay.
find that, yeah, oftentimes if I
I'll
just
call
do the
that.
reflect, it is absorbed as an aggressive act, and people are like, yeah, like if I repeat, yeah, repeating. But if you do a reflect and then also a request for more information, that can sometimes allow you to do the, I feel like I just heard you say this. Is that what you meant? And then it allows them to be like, oh, that
No,
is
no,
what
no,
I
no,
meant.
no, 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 no. Or
And then,
yes, that is absolutely.
well,
Uh,
generally their response is that is what I meant. Like they know what they meant and they're like, "Oh no, that is what I meant." But I didn't mean to say that and have you understand what I meant. And then they can say other things.
okay. Give me 2 seconds. I'm moving
You're
story
doing
elements around.
Just imagine that Maiamama is in a studio, a big black box, surrounded by servers, computer servers.
Oh man, yeah,
You
that's dope. Yeah, that's awesome. What
of the
else?
air, right? So like that's what she's doing right now. That's how you make
Also,
videos.
I'm kind of
Oh,
dressed
no.
like the 1990s movie Hackers, but
What?
but with like a modern 2022 twist.
So you're like the Angelina Jolie character in
No, no, no.
like, but with a mod. No, not that character, not that one. A different
I am an
character.
original character that was created to give it a modern twist. Because that's how you give things a modern twist is by
Understand?
placing a person of color into it. And they're like, "Whoa, this is modern."
Um,
Rap
from
music. What?
from the TikTok audience, cue backpedaling. Exactly. Like if you do the reframe request for more information, you get a backpedal performance.
Yes. Okay. Now, so we have.
All
Let's
right,
go to.
Sarah just said funny things about you, Maya,
What'd
on
she
TikTok.
say? What'd she say?
She said, "No, no, I'm an original character." Dash Maya.
Yeah.
No, no, eight. I'm an original character, Maya.
No, no, I'm an original character. That's I mean, I am. I am an original character. I've always been proud of that fact.
I'm distracting. Clothing.
I'm the OC. I'm the OC of my own tale. All right, let's go to redirection. So redirection is I'm going to say you remember that Pat is really into. What is she into? What is she into, y'all? What
Okay,
is
things
Pat
that happen
really into?
something. So we wanna ask Pat about something that will redirect the conversation.
Hmm. And
Um,
I do want to remind everyone that activities aren't gendered. Anybody can do them. So you don't
I
have to. So you don't have to worry about the choice. This is a genderless, older white person
knitting was the suggestion. Knitting. You're
knitting.
like, hey, I
Knitting's really good.
okay. My mama
Oh my
orthotics.
gosh. Yes. See, okay, so here's the funny thing. I also I have enjoyed quite a number of conversations about orthotics because when you work on your feet always hurt.
Wow.
So you're always like giving each other like tips and like, oh, I just got these new shoes or I just got these new insoles.
Because
Or
I
somebody's like, I spent $200 on these shoes. And then you go, "Oh my god, did they work?"
yeah, and you know what? I feel like I could get into a conversation. I've had this conversation. I've
Yeah.
done this, Maya.
Yeah.
I was working at the Oregon Shakespeare
I don't know
Festival.
how to spell orthotics.
ORTHO
Okay, could you do that?
TI O
OROTHO?
ORTH.
Ooh.
Ortho ortho,
Mm-hmm.
orthotics, TIC. So it's like four
TIC
thought ix.
is really into orthotics. So
No,
you
Maya,
say,
I've actually done this where I was dialoguing with a bunch of elderly audience members, and they were going to make some comment on a play that was good. The conversation wasn't going to go in a good place. I could see that they were taking breaths to say things that would be offensive to everyone around us. And I was like, "Oh my god, I love your shows." And then they were like, "Yeah, they're the bloody blah shoes." And we were talking about orthotics. And then I talked about my shoes because I had special shoes that protected my toes from my walker. Amazing. Amazing. Maya, I had no idea orthotics is a magic trick for
yeah,
distracting.
everybody has something to say about what shoes are the best shoes for anything, and they can be, it can be like really in depth, and but also generally speaking not high stakes emotionally,
And
because
you
like
don't care about
whatever,
shoes,
do it or
but it's
don't.
I like this. I like this. I now feel like I now have a really safe conversational thing. Like if I'm with someone and I don't know them, I can always ask them to like talk to me about their shoes.
So I'm going to say, so you remember, I don't know how to spell remember. Um, you remember that Pat is really into orthotics. So you say, my plantar fasciitis is really acting up. Them's magic words to anybody who's into orthotics.
The rest of the ride
As
about
somebody, yeah, as somebody who actually has plantar fasciitis, like it's like foot exercises, there's special shoes, and there's, yeah, it's like everything. We're
type
gonna say Pat
food.
lights up and proceeds to um spin no she proceeds to tell a tale, spin a yarn, take us on a journey, um yes, take lights up and proceeds to take you on a journey of foot care and maintenance. I don't know how to spell maintenance.
Amazing. All right.
I
So
need to figure that out.
Pat monologues for 15 minutes about foot care, and that is preferable to the microaggressions.
Oh
This is
gosh,
awesome.
yes, mate.
This is how you survive. This is how you survive a racism. Now, here's the question. What are the things that would be nice? Like, how do you survive a racism? Can you survive a racism with chocolates? I feel like chocolates can help you survive a racism.
I
Can you
mean,
survive a racism
yeah,
with nice?
whatever you need.
Hmm.
Whatever's gonna get you through the day is how you ultimately. But like, yeah, whatever's gonna get you through to the next day. Let's see. So Pat lights up and proceeds to take you um um on a journey of foot care and maintenance. Um, by the time you get home, you have some um good tips, and Pat has sent you a coupon code for some insoles.
We love this.
And we're going to say, and then, yeah. So that's, we're going to call that um, racism Um, dodged.
Race dodged. Racism
Dodged.
dodged. Like
I
that.
mean, because it was not really averted. You just kind of dodged it. You just shifted. And now
Yeah.
you're talking about,
You're really,
because
with the racism.
that is an option too. And that needs it. I think that needs to be respected as an option to not want to talk about it and to just change the subject and talk about your plantar fasciitis. I mean, it hurts, y'all.
Maya, this is from my training.
Yeah.
So I love that we integrated something from an actual anti-racist training, and you also have some cool stuff from a different bystander training, and we were able to get this amazing suggestion from the audience. Thank you, Desert Flower Arts.
Thank you.
Orthotics is now in the game. Orthotics is in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I was always like pie crust, but like orthotics, I never thought about it. Now I'm like, yeah, I have a lot to say when it comes to orthotics. So we're going to move on to education. So we decided to say something to Pat about the things that they are saying to your name here. So I'm going to start with Pat has said a number of incorrect or
incorrect, but I would say that Pat has said
uninformed microaggressions. So Pat has said a number of incorrect statements. How about that? Incorrect statements and her uninformed opinion.
From the audience, uninformed is the best. They liked that.
Okay.
Thank you, Clarity's BHC.
Yes. So let's cut that. Incorrect.
I feel like this is so awkward. How would you
of incorrect statements
while they're driving the car? How would you inform them that they had just racism on you? How would you even say it? It feels so awkward.
Yeah, cringe. That's what the kids say, right? Is that what the kids say?
I couldn't tell you.
It's like super cringe. I know, but like I'm assuming that there are some kids on the TikTok that could tell you that would be cringe. I believe that would be cringe
on the TikTok. I imagine that the kids don't. I imagine that the algorithm makes sure the kids never see my content because I am, what's the word? I'm a radical and
totally radical, dude. You are
radicalize the children, and then the children
cowabunga
will have a revolution.
Radical
revolution,
right?
So no, that's why the kids
do I have the wrong radical? Am I thinking of the wrong radical? Because I'm like, yeah.
All right, Maiamama, let me share from the audience. I couldn't. There would be a wreck, but when the car stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, how do you even bring this up?
Yeah, no, you're right. So let's say Pat has said a number of incorrect. A number of uninformed statements. And made microaggressions against you. For safety. Oh, and also I do want to say that this is not going to actually this is going to have a complicated ending that I just got an idea for, and I will read it off once I get there. So 1 second. For safety, you Wait until you have pulled into your driveway. You tell Pat.
Ooh.
Uh,
I like Clarity up in our audience. Clarity is like, hey, I'm just gonna be blunt. Hey, that was effed up. Here's why. Here's how. That was effed up. That's blunt. That's direct. I'm not mad at it. I don't know if I could be that blunt.
I'm gonna say that you tell Pat that she or that um, they caused you harm in their statements. Pat's eyes get wide.
Oh no. Oh no. And do they start to well with tears?
The worst kind of tears.
Oh, why didn't I should have known that this is what was going to happen in the game. Of course, this is what this was going to create.
Pat's eyes get wide. And I'm going to say, and you know what happens next. I'm sorry that I'm laughing like maniacally, like I'm George R.R. Martin, and I'm like, you're gonna get it now.
Okay, all right. So we're now going to. Oh man, the delicious tears of white.
House Baratheon.
Like the red wedding, but with white woman's tears. Okay.
Yeah. No. I'm just gonna say, Pat's eyes get wide. And you know what happens next. Let's see.
Because, okay, so now, oh dear. Okay, so we've called out the microaggression. Well, it didn't even feel like it was calling out. It felt like it was calling in. It was calling in. It was an education. It was an educating moment, being like, hey, when you said that thing, harmed me in these ways. This is what a microaggression is, and this is how microaggressions hurt people. And she's like, oh.
Tears roll down their cheeks.
Okay, and now what is our reaction? What do we do now that she is performing?
They start to.
Wow, I just keep gendering this character female.
Breathe. So do I, and that's because I am making this slightly like emotional in a way that, although I believe that emotions should not be gendered, is maybe not typical of older folks who identify as male. But also everybody does this in a way. If it's not exactly like this, there is a way that it's still done, which is a cause to manipulate your emotions and those of anybody observing. It's a play, and it's a farce. They start to breathe heavily.
Now, Maya, I tend to gender people female because I gender everyone female. It's a thing.
You do that, yes.
Gender everyone female, and then I have to like go Claudia gender.
Which it's interesting because oftentimes there's the issues with calling everyone dude, and you just call everyone girl.
Yeah. And it actually is an issue. Like I call the boy girl. And like
there are people who there are people who really don't appreciate it. So you have to go, oh shit, not you. Sorry, my apologies.
I'm URL as a gender neutral girl, but I recognize it's still gendered.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's cool. But yes. So
response. What do we do?
I'm gonna say you look down. And take a breath.
Punch her in the nose to distract her from
center
it. So them what real pain is.
To
Just boom, boom.
center
No, no,
yourself.
that
So
was
you're
really
taking a
wrong.
breath, you look
Apologize.
down, and you take a breath to center yourself. And then BAM! You burst out of the car door. You run. You run into your... No.
Parkour! Parkour! No.
Parkour, parkour, parkour. You quit your job. You move to an island.
A good video game has violence and like fight scenes and stuff, doesn't it? I feel
Yeah,
like maybe
but like
video
this is more of like an online interactive experience
okay, all right.
than like a video game, I
Um,
guess.
did you end up integrating that your character just quietly opens up the door as the car is still running and rolls themselves out into the street? Did you integrate that? Because I feel like that's action. That's action.
We're gonna add that. We're gonna add that. Hold on. You look out the car window. You are driving too fast to not hurt yourself in a jump. So this is what we have so far. Pat has said a number of uninformed statements and made microaggressions against you. You look out the car window. You are riding too fast. The car is driving too fast. The car is. You aren't. Or Pat is. Yes, Pat is. Because Pat is driving the car. Pat is driving too fast to not hurt yourself in a jump. For safety, you wait until you have pulled into your driveway. You tell Pat that they caused you harm in their statements. Pat's eyes get wide, and you know what happens next. Tears roll down their cheeks.
I love that the audience is saying tuck and roll. Tuck and roll.
But the car's going too fast, so you know you're gonna hurt yourself. And you know what the American healthcare system is. You just can't. You can't afford it. You can't.
It would give me pleasure as a game player, though, to be able to click on that option, even if it gave me a screen saying, the car's going way too fast, and you know what the American healthcare system is. Don't be a dummy. Get back. Don't jump out of the car.
As much as I love it, I'm
You're
gonna
like,
put a veto on it because that's just more. But and
right.
also we aren't gonna finish today. I realized. So I realized that like 15 minutes ago. I already knew it. It's all good.
So can I
So
read what the audience just said because it's funny?
yes.
They just said you could make it with the tuck and roll. You could make it if you were wearing the right orthotics.
Oh, and that's true. That's really, really true. Because if you have the right foot support, then when you land, you'll be able to just cradle that fall in that like foam shocking that whatever it's called, and if you get the shoes that like are like that are curved like rock airs, I guess those are supposed to be really good. I just can't go that far, but.
Maiamama, you are the designer of this game, and you could tell that I was having a good time.
Yes.
I thought we were going to today, so I think I got loose. What happens next since we're not finished?
Okay, so you look down and you take a breath to center yourself. You tell Pat that this is not about them. That this is about harm done to you. You give them a generic How do you spell generic? Genar? Er?
Generic. G.
Generic. Okay. You give them a generic compliment to um to get them to stop we want them to stop self-obsessing. Like, Pat, I've always appreciated the way that you give me good and great advice about orthotics.
What?
And I want us to be able to have an honest conversation because you're my friend.
Okay, all right, all right.
Do you see that? That's why I said you give them a generic compliment to get them to stop self-obsessing, and then because that here's the thing is that unfortunately, and I don't even this is not. I'm not saying that this is like. This is how all people act or anything, or how all people of a race act. This is how people act when they feel like they're backed in a corner.
Maiamama, can I share something else from this workshop? Again, I cannot believe we have been working on this game. How to survive a racism? Can you survive a racism? Been working on it this long. Never thought to go into this entire thing that is a rather large part of the calling of justice practice. There's an entire section on defensiveness that I'm trying to scroll to. Come on, stop tripping. Stop. All right. 5 steps to dealing with defensiveness.
Okay.
Name it. Defensiveness is an immediate and involuntary response triggered when we're being informed that we've done something wrong. So like you can't help it. It just happens.
Yeah.
You get defensive. And then that's when your body starts to like do things to protect itself. So it's like you're listening for inaccuracies or exaggerations. And you get so things to do, breathe. Listen. Don't criticize. Just understand what their grievance is. Oh, you see, our audience is like, just say I'm team, we're no longer friends. The idea of you're working with this person and you're trying to like get to a place of you don't hate Pat. You don't hate Pat. You just work with Pat and Pat. And
well, Pat here's the thing is that Pat doesn't know that there are people out there who literally don't know. And I get that like this is the modern world and that the information is out there, but there are people who do not know. And sometimes we have to make a choice as to whether or not they're worth it. And sometimes, and like you might not, like your friendship with them might not be important enough, or your relationship with them might not be important enough to continue it. But like maybe somebody else's is. That's why it's a choose your own adventure, because if you don't have to choose this option of trying to educate Pat, because you know what? You might be like, you know what? Fuck you, Pat. Tuck and roll.
And I feel like that should have been a real option. Just tuck and roll and limp home the rest of the way. Just tuck and roll out of the slowly roll. I think that's because there's many times where I've wanted to just leap out of a car when it's going.
Oh, same.
Horrible things.
I've thought about it so many times, like just so many times in my life. It's just been like, could I? No. And the thing is no, I could not make it. I am not like super strong, and that's okay.
We have somebody in the audience saying, "Hey, look, I can't tolerate this kind of behavior because of X." And then Sarah's
but you're like, not tolerating it.
But totally. So I liked your technique was give them a piece of affirmation, affirm something to interrupt their defensive response.
I'm going to say that. Affirm something about them to lower their defense. The thing is that I'm going to talk to them about it. Doesn't mean I'm letting them get away with it. Like talking to them is actually the action of not letting them get away with it. So like, sometimes I think, and again, I will say it's 100% an option. Just ducking out and blocking and never talking to them again. I think even though that's an option, I think that can sometimes be letting them get away with it. That just the act of inaction can be. Now, again, you are not required to act ever in any way. You do what makes you feel safe and secure, but just sometimes I get the well, I just don't talk to them ever again. I get that, but there are people that I do want to continue a relationship with that have no idea, or were taught a certain word choice and never learned that wasn't the word choice because they're from White Town, USA.
Of course. And also, I think that there are times where I've decided this isn't worth it. This is a mayfly exchange. You're somebody that I'm never going to see on planet Earth again. So I don't feel like taking an L for the rest of my people to teach you a lesson. You'll learn it some other time. Here's the problem. What's the lesson that white person learned in that moment?
That they got away with it. That they can say whatever they want.
So then what did they use me as proof that their behavior is okay? So the next
my coworker Claudia doesn't get mad she wasn't mad at me when I complimented her neighborhood. And actually, she was. She just didn't say anything because she just didn't want to do anything about it at this point in time. She was making that choice. But it's a pain in the ass because, like, I do not, under any circumstances, want to educate every damn ignorant person that comes across my path. I have no interest in doing that. But also, just now I don't have as much of a problem just letting them know that was offensive. I found it offensive. And if they want to talk about it, that I would be open to conversation. And if not, then bye-bye. Like, no problem. Like, I get that you're feeling defensive. You're fine. This is a thing I like about you. If you want to discuss this, we can discuss this further. But I'm letting you know that behavior isn't acceptable. Those aren't acceptable things to say in front of me. And if you want to continue relationship with me, then don't say those things anymore. And if you want to know why, and if you have active, real curiosity and not what's it called, sea lioning bullshit, then let's come have a conversation about it. Like some people, and I will tell you that I don't actually hate this. Some people, they don't even want to have a conversation about it. They're just like, oh, don't say those things. They program it in their brain and they just believe me. And I really like that. But also, I think that they should ask questions. Like, I appreciate that you believing black people. Like, that is really fucking important. But, it doesn't hurt to, like, maybe find out why. If you don't fully understand, it doesn't hurt. So we did it. We are at the home stretch. We actually have our 4 story trees that are all going to take us home, and then we're going to finish up home, and then we're going to upload next week. I'm really proud of us. I think we're just amazing people.
We're going to finish the game next week, definitely.
We are going to finish it, and then we're going to upload it to this website called Itch.io or Itch.io, which I'm showing you like just a little picture of. We're going to upload that up. And then it'll be free to play. Because I'm just gonna put the HTML code of this game onto to embed it into a little thing. So it should be fun. And I'm excited. But yes, we've come to that time. And again, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm supposed to like end the show. I'm not good at it. But like maybe, I don't know. Like maybe someday I'll be good at it. Is that too much? Am I asking too much of myself? Because
Maybe
I
one.
feel like maybe I am asking too much of myself by saying something like, you got to figure out how to close out your show. But also, like, I am the master of my own destiny and I get to decide when we're done.
Pro tech is always a journey.
Thank you for joining us. Today, we made a game using software called Twine 2.0. For more information, visit their website, twinery.org. Gaming4Justice is a Calling Up Justice production. Special thanks to producer and guest Claudia Alec. Thanks to graphics designers Lucy Millslow and Maya Millslow. For more information on Calling Up Justice, visit our website, callingupjustice.com. Visit our Instagrams at Maiamama79, at Mayasplaining, at Calling Up Justice Now, at Claudia Alec, at Genocide TV. And hey, I guess check out our TikToks at Claudia Alec Love and at Maiamama79. Come back next time on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time on twitch.tv and our YouTube page. Bye!